Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about my TBR for March. I have a couple of big projects planned for March, so I'm gonna just kind of quickly go over my TBR, though I will talk about those specific books in depth in various videos that I'm planning on doing. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so in February I ended up reading several Wings of Fire books, and in March I just want to continue the series because March 2nd, book 14 in the series comes out, and I'm sure that I'm going to want to read that as soon as possible. So I do have two Wings of Fire books on my TBR, and they are The Hive Queen and The Poison Jungle. This is the library copy, but this follows a character named Cricket, who we just met in the last book, and this one follows a character named Sundew, who we also just met recently in the last book. So without going into too much of the Wings of Fire series, these dragons happen to be on a different continent than the first 10 books are all on the one continent, and then this is a new continent that we're starting to learn about. So I'm super excited to read these. 2E.T. Sutherland continues to have me completely enthralled in this series. No matter what she throws at me, I'm loving it. So yes, I'm excited to read those. And then I have a few books that are going to be part of a couple of videos. So up on my channel just a little bit ago, you should have seen my announcement for the rereadathon. So these are going to be my TBR from the rereadathon. This is Sourdough by Robin Sloan and Birds Aren't Life by Kyle McClear. So I'm going to be reading both of these. Hopefully this one I'm probably going to do on audio. This one I have the audiobook for, but I'd really like to read it physically because it is pretty short, and there are a lot of pictures throughout and artwork, so I would like to actually sit and read it so that I can get the experience of looking at the art while I read. Both of these were pretty highly rated the first time I read them, so I'm excited to see if I like them just as much or more than last time, and I'm going to be filming my experience doing the rereadathon, so you'll be able to see that one too. Moving on, the next three books on my TBR relate to another video that I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to tell you what video it's for, but I will show you the books. So this is People in the Room by Nora Lange. The only thing I really know about this one is that it's about a woman who sees some people in the apartment across from her. It's another one of those unreliable narrator books that I've been talking about, and I picked this one up and it looked interesting and kind of fit in with that trope. So I'm excited to read this one. And then I have Die My Love by Ariana Harwicks, and this is again one of those unreliable narrator stories, even though the video I'm making is not about reading unreliable narrator stories. It's completely different, but it kind of ends up that two of these books relate to that trope. But this is about a mother and her difficulty with motherhood and talking about her family. I guess it's more unlikable than unreliable. So maybe that's kind of the distinction there, but it looks really interesting. It looks pretty similar to The Shame that I was obsessed with that book when I read it. So I'd like to reread that one at some point too. I'll put that on my list. So yeah, I am pretty excited to read this, and this is just a stunning cover, really simplistic, but I love the yellow. Okay, moving on to the last book that I have on my TBR. It is Love in the Time of Cholera by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and this is the illustrated edition by Luisa Rivera, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. My best friend got me this for Christmas, but the artwork is absolutely stunning. So I'm planning on reading this probably with her. I'm gonna do a buddy read with her as a part of the video. But yeah, it's just really gorgeous. I know it's going to be kind of a pain to like physically hold and read because it is so big, but I really want to read it physically because obviously I don't want to miss out on the beautiful artwork. So excited to give this one a read as well. The last part of this video is going to be me choosing a random book off of my TBR to read in the month of March. So I got this idea from the booktube channel Just Angus. I'll link it down below. But he does a reaping, quote unquote, of a particular book on his TBR every month. And he uses a little jar and he just picks one out. So that's what I'm gonna do. So let's see what I get. I'm gonna go really to the bottom here so I don't know what it is. Okay, this one. Idiot, so let me go grab that one. So this is a memoir by Cleary, and she is an influencer, and I've been following her like videos on Facebook and Instagram and stuff for a long time, and she's a comedian. And so she's kind of talking about how she dealt with her addictions. She had some drug issues, she had some alcohol issues. It talks about also her meeting her husband and how he had similar struggles and how they were able to get sober together. And it just sounds like not only a funny and cute kind of book, but really deep and talking a lot about addiction. So I've been excited to read this for a while, so it will be good to read this finally in March and actually start chugging through some of my nonfiction, because I never read it and I have so much of it that I do really want to read. So yay, thanks TBR Jar for this wonderful pick. Okay, so that is my entire TBR for March. I will gather it up for you to see. A giant stack of books. So that is my entire TBR for the month of March. I'm excited to read all of these. I hope I get to all of them. Now that I've made this video, I definitely would like to get to all of them. So hold me to it, because I will be doing a wrap up for March. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you read any of these books or have read any of these books, please feel free to tell me what you thought of them in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.